you doing?
This matchup with Baltimore from the front seven, especially the linebackers' perspectives, because of what Lamar, the angle, what Lamar provides alongside there. For your position group specifically, what is the challenge that's unique to this specific matchup with Lamar that they have to maintain?
Sure. It's one of those weeks, that really go into what we talk about, like playing Browns football. And playing Browns football, especially defensively, is being physical, is being extremely violent, having urgent effort outside, and really playing with passion. So when you talk about, an opportunity area for us, it's another opportunity for us to really do what our standard is, and that's do what we're supposed to do when we're supposed to do it every time.
After watching that first game and Greg on the outside, obviously he's played there before a lot earlier in his career, but how did you guys come away with how he did out there and with Miles starting in the slot too?
Oh, yes, Ash. The biggest thing with Greg playing outside is, it's the not the exception. Right, it's the expectation for our guys to really go out there and be the tip of the spear so that we can help our engine get home and really be a trusted teammate for our nerve center. So, really to see Greg out there, working, doing the things that he's done since training camp has been great to see, right? Because we know that everything that we do is a statement, from the classroom to every rep that we take at practice to the film. So it was really good to see that statement on tape being able to be verified. And with Miles, again, another trusted teammate. He's somebody that really embodies what's important to us. Obviously we talk about the violence, the speed of play, and the effort. And he's somebody who's a really good communicator. So especially in games like last week, but more importantly in games like this week, we're going to be able to really see their natural strengths out there.
And Rashad, what do those guys bring to the table, and what are the challenges they're presenting for you on Sunday?
Yes, ma'am. Speed and versatility. Both of those guys are definitely they're playmakers. When we talk about what our goals are, our number one goal is we have to stop the run. We have to be physical in the run game, and we have to neutralize those guys' effects outside. The second and third thing is really eliminating Lamar's legs and his plastering scramble drills. And those guys do a really good job displaying themselves, getting themselves open. So we have to do a good job staying on top of coverage, winning early, and then plastering late.
And what he adds to their offense, because I know he only had 2 targets, but 2 catches. One was that crazy one-handed touchdown in week 1. What does he have to Lamar?
Sure, Hall of Fame receiver, right? And obviously he's a trusted target guy. He's a guy that's proven in this league. He makes contested catches, especially in the high red zone area. So we have to do a really good job staying on top, eliminating explosives, and really when they do give the ball to him, we got to do a good job tackling in space.
Guys helping in the run game. Is that even a bigger point of emphasis this week because of Lamar's legs, because of Derek, and their ability to come in and help tackle?
Sure. And you asked that question. I think that's always a point of emphasis for us, especially when we talk about, outworking, out-hitting, out-physicaling our opponent. So that's been something in our identity that we've worked very, very hard since April to make sure that is very much a part of the tip of the spear. So, being able to get active in the run game and be a trusted teammate for our engine and our nerve center, it's been a point of emphasis this week.
I think Jim Schwartz said something in the summer about Denzel wanting to be more physical and kind of wanting to get better. I mean, he's always been a physical guy, but wanting to get better in that part of his game. Have you seen that from him?
Yes, and and the guys have really bought into what our standard is, right? And Coach Kevin always talks about our standard is do what we're supposed to do when we're supposed to do it every time. Our standard on defense is the best. And the best in all areas. And when we say that, our violence, our effort, our passion, that has to be on display. So with one of our trusted teammates, one of our best players being held accountable, he absolutely has worked this whole offseason to improve that in his game.
Helping the engine of the defense, and Coach Schwartz was talking about, gave you guys a lot of credit for that fourth quarter back-to-back sacks. But the guys were also talking about needing to start things faster and get things going faster. Is that something that you guys can do in your unit off the rip, or is it like we saw in that fourth quarter after a game full of tight coverage helping that? Can you get that going earlier, or is it something that has to be done as the game goes on?
That's a great question. You know, and the reason why I say it's a great question, you know, I'm going to throw two numbers, 31 and 11. So part of us starting fast really like embodies 31 and 11 when we tie or we're plus in the takeover margin. So our guys starting fast and really being a trusted teammate so that we can be, you know, resilient together, that's extremely important to those guys. And that's definitely a point of emphasis on us. You know, we talk about like communicate first, then execute, you know, and us getting off to a fast start so that we can be the tip of the spear. That's definitely been a point of emphasis.
What are your expectations for him for the entire season? You know, it's a big year for him. Last year was contract, all those things, playing outside all the time. What do you expect for him all season?
You know, to do what we're supposed to do when we're supposed to do it every time. You know, and again, like we know that every single thing that we do is a statement, you know, and we want to make sure that, you know, that statement is to our standard. And our standard defensively is playing with great violence, playing with great effort, great passion. You know, so when you ask, you know, what is that specific standard for Greg, it's really just continue to be a trusted teammate, keep arrowing up, you know, keep majoring in the things that are important to us as a defense.
Throw many interceptions, but how do you guys increase your takeaways? Such an important stat for you guys as a defense. How do you do that when the opportunities necessarily aren't there? And is there a line where you can cross to try to force it, and then you're not making the play that you should have made without it there?
Yes, you know, consistency. You know, we talk about consistency, and simplicity is the key to success. So we have to have elite work habits. We have to have elite technique and fundamentals, and trusting in those fundamentals. And then when we talk about like 1 + 1 = 3, the sum has to be greater than its parts. It's really relying on what we do well, you know, being consistent at those things so that we can make plays when the time comes.
Miles Harden, as he got that opportunity to start in the nickel.
Yeah, you know, that young guy is physical. You know, he's somebody that, you know, we talk about like play speed, right? And part of play speed is you being able to be ahead of plays, being aware, being a great communicator. That's something that he's done since he's been in camp. And he continues to arrow up on those things. He's a guy that when we talk about, you know, every meeting, every practice, every rep is a statement, it's very important to him. And it's very important to him to be a trusted teammate, not only amongst, you know, the tip of the spear, but really be somebody that the engine and the nerve center can really look to and that they can count on.